to the Valley Center Playhouse.
Last time you said I should use my pinky.
No, dear, the third finger. See? I'll mark it for you.
Gee, Miss Endicott, you're getting my musical marked up.
That's to remind you when you're practicing. Just how much do you practice, Una?
Oh, all the time. Boss says I'm driving him nuts. And Mom says, that ain't no drive, that's just a short putt.
All right, Una. Let's begin again, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, start again.
I guess I'm just about impossible.
Oh, everybody plays uncertainly at first, dear.
Problem with me is, I got music in my soul, but my fingers don't want to cooperate.
Well, suppose we hold this piece over again until Friday.
You mean you ain't gonna give me Dance the Water Lilies like you promised?
I said you would have it if you played this piece without a mistake.
Well, I only made 1 or 2 mistakes. And I want to learn Dance the Water Lilies on account it's my mom's favorite piece.
Then that should make you want to learn this one quickly, so we can get on to Dance of the Water Lilies. After all, it's a second grade piece.
Gosh darn it anyway!
Oh, now you're in a temper.
I will learn it! I will! I'll give up my career! That's what I'll do!
You ruined the instrument.
This old thing? You couldn't ruin it if you had it.
That would be all. On Friday at 4.
I've got a good mind not to come. Then maybe you'll appreciate my taking 2 lessons a week.
That's no way to talk, Una. Of course I appreciate your taking lessons.
You sure showed in a funny way. Here's your 50 cents.
Ricky!
Yes, Mom?
Come here, will you, dear?
Has the world's lousiest musician gone?
There's a $50 somewhere on the floor. Will you see if you can find it?
Yeah, let me put this test tube down first. It's a streptococcus culture. I don't want to spill it.
Oh, Ricky, you shouldn't be spending so much time in your father's office. You should be out playing with the other boys.
Playing what? Fiddledy sticks? I've got work to do. Where'd it go?
I don't know. Somewhere on the couch, maybe? Besides, I don't think it's safe you're handling all these diseased bacteria.
You never worried about Dad when he was doing it.
Your father was a trained physician. 4 years of college, 3 of medical school, and 2 in Europe. You were a high school snip.
But not for long now. Just 1 more year and then college.
Well,
I can't find it.
all right, never mind. We'll find it later.
Don't tell me Una paid for her lesson.
Yes, in a manner of speaking.
Ah, we eat again.
Well, you don't look as though you're starving.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not hungry at all. It's my tapeworm. He's ravenous.
Oh, well, I'm going to start supper now. What would your tapeworm like to eat?
A nice big juicy steak with onions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you'll have to settle for wieners.
Dogs again? Gosh, Mom, we've had them so much lately, my stomach's beginning to bark.
As long as it barks instead of growls, you haven't any worries.
Mom, I've been thinking. We're really pretty broke, aren't we?
Did that require much thinking?
What I mean is, we don't have much of anything except Agnes pay at the library, do we?
We have what I earn giving music lessons.
Yeah, 50 cents when you get it. Mom, I've been thinking. Don't you think it's awful foolish of me to be planning on college? What I ought to do is get a job?
Oh, Ricky, don't talk like that. I'd never forgive myself if you didn't get a college education. It was almost the last thing I promised your father before he died, that you'd study medicine.
I know, and there's nothing I'd like better. But like you said just now, it takes a heck of a lot of education. College, medical school, internship. It'll be 10 years before I even start earning money.
We'll manage.
But how?
Let me worry about that.
That's just what I'm going to stop doing. You've been worrying about this family too long as it is. Why doesn't Aunt Caroline lend a hand?
We can manage without her.
But Mom, why should we? Why should we struggle along when she's got all that dough? You know what I heard? Aunt Caroline's the richest woman in town.
That has nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us? Dad's only sister? Who's going to inherit everything when she dies?
I don't know and I don't care.
But Mom, why shouldn't we? Dad should have had a share of that money. It was his father's.
His father chose to leave the entire estate to Caroline.
But why?
Oh, I don't know, and I don't wish to discuss it. If your Aunt Caroline has chosen to ignore us, we'd best ignore her.
The old Scrooge.
Ricky, please. She is your father's sister, and I won't have you speaking disrespectfully of her.
Okay, only she...
Enough, Ricky. Let's forget Aunt Caroline. You'll go to college, never fear, without asking any favors of her. All right? All right. Ooh, see who that is.
It's Dave.
Oh, hello, Mrs.
Oh,
Endicott.
come in, David. This is rather a strange time of day to be seeing you.
I guess so. I happen to have an assignment in the neighborhood. Thought I'd stop in and say hello.
Well, now you've said hello. Goodbye.
Smart guy, huh?
What was the assignment?
Missing girl over on Rome Street.
Missing girl, huh? Kidnapping?
No, not so good a story as that. Just a little Italian girl. I guess she ran away from home.
Poor thing. Those foreigners don't seem to have much of a home life. Are you going to write it up for the paper?
I guess I'll give it a stick or so. Not much room these days for any news besides the war. Agnes isn't home?
Well, you know, David, she's never here this early.
I didn't think so. If you don't mind, Mrs. Endicott, I'd like to speak to you about something.
Of course not, Dave. Go right ahead.
Alone?
All right, I can take a hint, if it's not too broad. But I can guess what it's all about, though. Mrs. Endicott, I've long admired your lovely daughter Agnes, and for her hand.
You mustn't mind Ricky, he's a born tease.
Oh, I don't mind him. Funny part is, though, he did kind of hit the nail on the head.
Then it is about Agnes?
Yes.
What?
Well, I don't know if Agnes told you or not, Mrs. Endicott, but a week ago I asked her to marry me.
Oh, you did? Why, no, she never mentioned it.
I didn't think she did, from the things she said since. Anyhow, she refused.
Refused? Agnes did? But that's impossible. I know how well she likes you.
I always thought so, but I know I haven't got much money, a reporter on a small-town newspaper. But I have got prospects, and they're good ones, Mrs. Endicott. Why, a reporter, if he amounts to anything, he can't go far. There's a copy desk, city editor, special features, foreign correspondent. There's swell money in those jobs, Mrs. Endicott, and I'm headed for them.
Oh, I'm sure you are, David.
Of course, right now I'm only earning $22.50 a week. But that's enough for two to live on, I think. Don't you?
It can be done with a careful budget.
That's what I told Agnes, but she says no. What I was wondering, Mrs. Endicott, is if you'd speak to her for me. Make her see that we could get along all right married.
I will speak to her, of course, David, but are you sure it's just the money that's keeping you apart?
I don't know what else.
Are you sure she's in love with you?
Well, I'm in love with her, and she seems to show the same signs.
Well, I'll talk to her, David.
Tonight?
If you want me to.
I would. We've got a date, and I'd like to get some things settled. We're having dinner.
This evening? But Agnes didn't say anything.
Oh, I had called her at the library and asked her.
Oh, well, she'll be home soon to change and I'll speak to her then.
Thanks, Mrs. Endicott. I knew I could count on you. Just tell her, will you, what a mistake she's making, and how two can live as cheaply as one?
One what? All right, David, I'll tell her.
Thanks, Mother.
Oh. Well, that's a bit premature, don't you think? Not that I didn't like it, mind.
Well, there's a lot more where it came from.
Well, this is Walter Mitchell Jr. Come on in, Dan.
Hello, Burl.
Dave, I want you to meet my #1 boyfriend, Dan Donovan.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Mr. Thompson. Don't pay any attention to that #1 boyfriend here. I'm here to see Ricky.
Now you know you can see me, really. Stop being bashful and admit it.
I'll see you kids again.
Goodbye, Mrs. Endicott.
Goodbye, David.
Walking out on me, eh? Just when I need protection.
Protection from what?
From a slow-graced monster, Dan Donovan.
All I have to say is heaven help him.
Gee, Pearl, do you have to go out of your way to make a fool of me?
Oh, it wasn't far.
Pearl, that's no way to talk to Dan.
How about staying for supper, Superman? Can you, Mom?
If he wants to. I'm leading out.
See, it's all settled, and I won't take no for an answer. Cleopatra that I am. Come, Mark Antony.
Forget it, I'm here to see Ricky on business.
Come here and I'll give you the business.
You know, Pearl, you're funny. I never know what you're joking about.
Wanna know how to tell? Watch my ears. When they turn blue, I'm kidding.
I don't understand women like you.
Wanna know something, Dan? I don't understand myself.
Hello! I thought I heard Dan calling for help.
Hi, Rick. I'm ready to Pearl on my road to see you.
Ran into me like fun. I've been stalking you all afternoon. Ricky, make Dan understand. He's my ace glamour puss.
Come on, Dan. We can't be bothered with females.
What I can't understand is what he sees in you. With all us dames throwing ourselves at his feet, he can walk all over us like slaves. And does he? No. He spurns me as though I were a broken toy.
In here, Dan, where we can be alone.
Suit me small, you working on anything?
Yeah, I've got a culture of Staphylococcus streptococci. Are they doing things?
Boy, something about this truth is always fascinating me.
He amounts to a man. I'll get a piece of cheese and find out. River 824J, please.
Girl, I want you to pare some potatoes.
Okay. Hello? Is that you, Mert? Yeah, okay. Okay, sure. Dan Donovan. Sure he's here. He's my brother's best friend. And so bring me to the dance or else. Yeah, okay. Who? Tyrone Howard?
Who are you talking to?
None of your business.
Mom, can I have a piece of bread and sugar? Oh, that I know who it is. Mert Stegman. She's the only person you ever talked to.
What did you say, Mert? The noise in this house, I can hardly hear myself think.
Cicely, don't you dare come in this house with skates on.
But Mom, I was going right out. I just want a piece of bread and sugar.
You go out in the hall this minute and take off those skates. My floors! I spent the entire morning going over them.
Well, I don't think it's worth it. All the work for just a piece of bread and sugar. Maybe even two would be worth it.
People, please! Have a heart. I can't hear a word what you're saying.
Say goodbye to Myrtle. The potatoes are waiting. Now, Sissy, you heard me.
Okay.
Okay. So long, Mert. Gosh, Mom, Mert was writing this or telling me something.
My, when did you see her last?
This afternoon in study hall. But this is something that's happened in school. She had a letter from, you'll never guess, Tyrone Howard.
Well, he must be hard up for someone to write to.
Well, it wasn't a personal letter exactly. It's from his secretary, but it enclosed an autographed photo. And it wasn't a reasonable facsimile either. It was an original, genuine Tyrone Power.
What is Myrtle going to do with it?
Hang it over her bed. Gosh, Mom, isn't your idea of a dream? When I look at Dan, I think of Tyrone Power.
Well, I suppose it's only natural. In my day, we quarreled over Francis X. Bushman.
Now can I have my piece of bread and sugar, Mom?
No, it'll spoil your supper.
Mom, I first sacrificed my roller skates.
I know, you sold your soul for a mess of bread and sugar. Here, dream girl, wake up.
Of course, Tyrone Power can't compare it to Charles Boyd. He hasn't nearly the sophistication.
What's sophistication?
You'll know someday when you're older.
Love stuff. You girls make me sick.
Oh, Sissy, don't be so gouch.
What's gout?
French for dumbbell. I'm going to write Tyrone Power myself. If you can send Myrtle an autograph photo, there's no reason why you can't send me one.
Why don't you just invite Junior Pop? You've been hunting a man.
I have not been hunting a man. Don't be so gouch.
You have so, and I bet I know who it is too. Dan Donovan.
Dan Donovan? Why, I hardly know he exists.
Hardly know he exists? Champion football player of Milton High?
All you know about football anyway.
All you know about men anyway.
I know more about him than you'll ever hope to know.
I don't want to know anything about him. I hate him.
You'll learn.
Girl,
Yes.
you wanna know who I saw today? I'll give you 3 guesses.
What do I care who you saw?
You'll care when I tell you. Aunt Caroline.
So what?
And she spoke to me too.
Spoke to you. Really?
Yeah. Me and Lois Andrews were riding down Judson Street, and she came along it with that other lady in that silly old car.
That old-fashioned electric?
Yeah, we were waiting for them to go by, and she said, huh, Endicott girls. And I said, yes, Aunt Caroline.
And what did she say?
She said, huh. And Julie, our lady did drive on.
Oh, Miserly Twizzerly.
What's she got against us anyway?
I don't know.
Living in that big house all alone.
Oh, she doesn't live alone. The other woman who drives the car is her secretary companion.
What's a secretary companion?
It's a woman you hire to keep you company, sort of like a glorified servant, only she eats at the same table.
Must be awful lonesome.
Oh, here comes Agnes.
Hello.
Gee, you're home early, aren't you?
I managed to quit a little earlier. I've got a date with Dave.
Yeah, I know he was here.
Already?
He's gone, he was talking to Mom.
Well, what about?
I don't know.
Well, I like that.
Agnes, is that you?
Uh-huh. Burl says Dave was here.
Yes, that is...
What about?
He wanted to talk to me. Burl, I'm not going to tell you again. Get at those potatoes, and Sissy, you help her.
I put potatoes last night.
Hey, Mom.
Just a minute. Now go on, both of you, and make sure you get all the eyes. I read somewhere the green sprouts are poisonous. What is it, Ricky?
Can Nan stay for supper?
Of course.
Swell.
What did Dave want?
I'll tell you, but let's sit down.
Some mystery or something?
Well, the mystery is why you never told me he asked to marry you.
Did Dave tell you?
Of course he did. He also said he refused.
Well,
Well, you're in love with him, aren't you?
no.
I know you are.
How?
Agnes, I'm not a baby. I was young once myself and in love.
I can't marry Dave, and that's all there is to it. And I certainly don't like his coming here whining to you.
Whining? Now you know he isn't that kind. He's trying to understand, just as I am.
And what's there to understand? He asked me, and I said no. After all, I'm way over 21. I can make up my own mind.
You might have at least told me that he asked you.
What difference did it make as long as I refused?
Was it because of money, Agnes?
Well, $22.50 a week isn't any princely sum.
Your father and I managed on less.
That was for two. There happened to be a lot more than that in this family.
What do you mean?
Suppose I were to marry Dave. What are the rest of you going to do? Starve?
Is that what made you say no, because of your supporting us?
I don't know what else, and I'm certainly not going to wish my whole family off on Dave.
But Agnes, you can't let us spoil your future happiness. We'll get along somehow. You mustn't let that interfere.
Mother, don't talk like a man up a tree. Just how would you manage without my salary? 4 of you and Ricky planning on college?
We'll manage somehow.
How?
Well, I can give more music lessons.
To whom?
I'll find more pupils.
You've been taking in pupils ever since Father died. 7 years, and you've got about a dozen. At 50 cents a piece, that's a magnificent income. $6 a week. Yes, you'll manage.
But Agnes, don't you see? That's not your problem. You've got to break away and get married. Dave's a fine boy with a future ahead of him. He'll go far, and you'll go right along with him.
Sure, I'll go along with Dave, and you'll go along to the poorhouse.
Oh, it won't be that bad. Ricky can go to work.
And give up college?
If it's the only thing to do, he'll have to do it. He'll understand.
No, I won't have it. He's worked hard at school, and I'm going to see him through.
At the expense of your own happiness.
So what if I'm an old maid? I wouldn't be the first. In fact, it's sort of expected of librarians.
Agnes, it isn't what you want, and I know it. Couldn't you marry Dave and keep your job?
You know that isn't permitted. The library board, Miss Caroline Endicott, would let me go so quick it wouldn't be funny. No married women allowed.
But if they did let you work, would you marry Dave? And he could come here to live? Oh, I know it's not the marriage every girl hopes for, but at least it would keep you together until you could have a home of your own.
Mother, I'd do it myself in a minute, but I couldn't ask it of Dave. It wouldn't be fair to him. Every man, when he marries, has the right to a home of his own.
Nothing I can say will change your mind.
I'm afraid not.
Well, I guess I could go to Caroline.
Mother, you wouldn't.
She might be made to understand. She has all that money. It will be ours someday.
Not necessarily. She can leave it to charity.
No, as I understand it, your grandfather's will instructed that on her death, everything was to go to you children.
I never knew that.
So she might be willing to let you have a little something now. Enough for the rest of us to live on, and Ricky to go to college, and you could marry Dave.
I wouldn't ask Aunt Caroline for a cent.
I will.
No, Mother, don't!
After all, it's not for myself I'm asking, it's for your future and Ricky's. You have a right to it. That money was as much your father's as it is hers. I'm not going to cheat you out of it.
What do you mean you're not going to cheat us out of it?
The reason your grandfather would have nothing to do with us, the reason he left all the money to Caroline was because He did not approve of your father marrying me.
I never knew that, but why?
I was poor. My father was a mill worker, and the Endicotts were the richest family in town. Naturally, they expected great things out of their only son, and when he threw himself away on me,
Oh, Mother.
oh, Richard didn't care. He was only interested in his medicine. I didn't care either then, but now when it's spoiling your happiness, I do, and I'm going to do something about it.
What?
You'll see. Operator, get me Caroline Endicott, please, on Rome Street. I don't know the number.
What are you going to say to her?
Hello, is Miss Caroline there? May I speak to her? Caroline, this is Mrs. Richard Endicott calling. I'd like to come over and see you if I may. Hello? Hello? She hung up.
Mother, don't have anything to do with her.
No, I'm going to see her. See that the others get their supper. I'll be back as soon as I can. And do tell David, please tell David that there's hope.
Mother!
What's all the excitement?
Hello, Ricky. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Miss Endicott. Well, I guess I better be going.
Oh, no, you're not. You're staying for supper.
Sure you are. Come on, Dan, stay.
Well,
Mother said you could. Where did Mother go, Agnes?
She had to go to the store for something.
We're having something good. I'm fixing it special. Pigs in a blanket.
what's that?
It's just a fancy way of eating wieners. You dip them in bacon.
Sounds good.
Ricky, will you do something for me?
What?
Leave Jen and me alone for 5 minutes.
No, don't!
I know what you're going to ask him. Ask him in front of me.
No, it's delicate.
Hush.
She wants you to take her to the junior prom on Friday.
I hate dances.
So do I, but being a junior, I have just got to go.
I'm a junior, and I'm not going.
But you should, Dan. You owe it to the school.
Do I?
Mm-hmm. You're a public figure at Middleton High, and public figures owe something to the public.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. So you should at least put in an appearance. Of course, we wouldn't have to dance if you wouldn't want to. We could just put in an appearance late if you wanted to.
Well, if it was just an appearance, and then we left, I guess it wouldn't be so bad.
Oh, Dan, that's swell! I'll be ready at 9.
Well, remember, only an appearance, okay?
And what an appearance it's going to be.
I'll answer it. Hello? No, she isn't here right now. She's gone to the store. Who's speaking? This is Ricky. Who? It's Aunt Caroline.
Aunt Caroline?
I think she'll be right back. What? Hello? Hello? Aunt Caroline's coming over.
Here?
Ricky, who was that?
Aunt Caroline.
Are you sure?
She asked for Mother. I told her she'd gone to the store. She said, who's speaking? And I told her. She said, I'm coming over, and hung up.
But Mother's on her way there.
To Aunt Caroline's? Why?
It doesn't matter. If she's coming here, maybe we better have everything nice for her. Ricky, you straighten up here in the living room. Burl and you and I make some tea, cakes or something.
Well, I guess where are we going?
Oh, no, you're not. You're invited. You'll stay.
What do you think she wants, Agnes?
Maybe she's relented.
What do you mean relented?
Never mind. Come on, Ricky, straighten up the music on the music stand.
And Dan, whatever you do, don't go.
This all sounds pretty important.
It is. It's the first time she's ever named to speak to the Richard Endicotts.
Your aunt?
Caroline Endicott. You've seen her. Drives around in that old Baker Electric with that other lady.
Is that her?
Yeah, only we never admit it. My dad's only sister, rolling in dough. We're her only living relatives.
I know she is. She's on the board of my father's bank.
Yeah, she's on so many boards they call her Splinter.
Is that her already?
Yeah, straighten up that table, will you, Dan? Come on in, Miss McLean. Gee, this is a surprise.
How are you, Richard? I came to see your mother. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Miss McLean. I didn't expect to see you here.
Sit down, won't you, Miss McLean? My mother's not here right now, but I think she'll be right back.
Thank you. Isn't that auger I smell?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, I've been working on an experiment. I've got a laboratory in there.
A laboratory?
It was my father's office. He was a doctor, you know, and when he died, he left it all to me.
May I look?
Sure, it's kind of messy right now. I've been working on an experiment with streptococcus.
Oh, but Richard, you shouldn't handle germs like that. They're dangerous. Even in the lab at school, I never handle strep.
I'm careful.
Oh, goodness, it's a scientist's dream.
Who is it, Dan?
Miss McLean, our chemistry teacher.
What does she want?
Oh, I envy you.
Imagine a lab so complete and all your own.
This is my sister Agnes, Miss McLean.
How do you do? I hope you'll excuse my apron.
Of course. Richard was just showing me his lab.
Yes, he's very proud of it.
Oh, he should be. It's more complete than the one we have at school. I was just telling him he needs to be very careful. Many of the drugs he has in there are deadly poison.
Yes, he's very careful, and the rest of us never go in. Father wanted him to have it.
Sit down, won't you, Miss McLean?
Thank you. I've seen you at the library, haven't I, Miss Endicott?
You certainly have.
I wish I could get over more often. I'm kept so busy at school, I hardly have any time for reading.
It's just as well. We've got a very bad library. We can't get any money out of the board for new books.
The library board and the Board of Education are the same here in Middleton, aren't they?
That's right. You haven't been here long, Miss McLean?
Oh, no. This is my first teaching job. I just graduated from Radcliffe last June.
Radcliffe? I dreamed of going there. I had 2 years at State Normal School.
Miss McLean sure knows her science, Ag. She teaches all the chem and biology at school.
And believe me, I have to bone up nights to keep ahead of this young man.
I suppose he is rather precocious, having had that for nursery.
That's what I came to see your mother about. I think I can get Richard a scholarship to Harvard.
Harvard?
Oh, wonderful!
I have an uncle on the faculty there, and I think I can persuade him that Richard's a student worth having.
Does that mean it won't cost him anything?
Oh no, just his tuition will be free. He'll have his board and lodging and books and all that to pay for. But a scholarship to Harvard is worth a great deal.
It's what I've always dreamed of.
Now, I have this application form. It's to be filled out. And you'll need 3 signatures of well-known people for character reference. Your Aunt Caroline would do for one.
Aunt Caroline? She wouldn't sign a ticket to a dog show.
Why not? Oh, that must be her now. Caroline Endicott?
Yeah, expecting her.
Oh, I must be on my way.
So this is what Richard chose to call home?
Come in, Aunt Caroline. Miss Endicott, this is Miss McLean.
How do you do, Miss Endicott?
What are you doing here?
Miss McLean's my teacher at school.
Well, let her speak for herself. I asked what you were doing here.
Really, Miss Endicott?
As head of the school board, I demand to know.
Very well. I came to speak to Mrs. Endicott about a scholarship for Richard.
Doing a little bribing, huh?
I don't know what you mean. Richard's a very intelligent boy, and I thought perhaps I could help him.
We don't want your kind of help. Thank you. Who's that?
A friend of mine, Dan Donovan.
Get him out of here.
See you later, Rick. Dan, wait a minute.
Is this your usual custom, Miss Endicott? Going into people's homes and ordering their guests about?
I'll thank you to mind your own business, Miss McLean. And if you're quite finished with your prying here, we can excuse you.
As it happens, Miss Endicott, I'm not nearly finished, and I won't be for quite some time.
Insolence, huh? Just one more item for me to bring before the board.
Richard, would you mind showing me your microscope again?
I'd be glad to.
What's in there?
Richard's laboratory. It used to be Father's office.
Covering me. It makes me nervous.
I'm sorry, Miss Caroline.
Fetch me that chair.
Wouldn't you rather sit over here where it's more comfortable?
No, can't abide stuffed furniture. It ruins your posture. Besides, you might have bugs. Put it here. Sounds. You find a chair over there out of the way. That is, if you can find one that isn't filled with moths. I don't want any of them carried home.
Yes, Miss Caroline.
Sit over here, Agnes, where I can see you.
Of course, Aunt Caroline.
I must say, I never thought I'd ever enter this house. And I don't intend staying any longer than necessary. Where's your mother?
As a matter of fact, she's on her way over to see you.
To see me.
Yes, after she phoned and was disconnected, she thought she'd better walk over.
Teach her to stay where she belongs. What did she phone me for?
I don't know.
You do so know you're lying. I'll wager it was money.
And if it were, haven't we a right to it?
So it was money. Thought she'd wheedle me out of some, I suppose.
After all, Aunt Caroline, it's as much Father's as was yours.
Oh, was it? Mina, did you hear that? Mina, did you hear that?
Yes, Miss Caroline.
As much Father's as it is mine, I suppose you don't know. he was cut off without a cent.
Yes, I do know that. I know the grandfather was against their marriage, but now that they're both dead, I don't see why you have to continue the quarrel.
She isn't dead. The one who caused it all.
You don't mean Mother.
Who else?
She wouldn't see me. The maid said she wasn't at home.
Mother, Aunt Caroline is here.
Here? Caroline.
Yes, Eleanor, I'm here. Why did you phone me?
If you wanted to know, why did you hang up?
I did not hang up. We were disconnected, weren't we, Mina? You were there, weren't we? Disconnected.
Yes, Miss Caroline.
How do you do, Miss Maverick?
How do you do?
Eleanor, why did you phone me?
Mother, it's no use. Let's drop the whole subject.
No. Caroline, we need money.
So I understand.
It isn't for myself I'm asking. It's for Agnes here and Ricky. Richard's children. Your brother's children.
Got themselves into trouble, and now you come crawling to me.
Agnes has a chance for marriage. A very fine young man. But he can't support us all. And Ricky has to complete his college education.
Why?
Because it was your brother's dying wish.
Aren't there enough pill peddlers in this world?
As I understand it, your father's will left everything to you as long as you live. But upon your death,
Now
it
you
was-
got me dead, have you?
upon your death, it was to pass not to Richard even if he were alive, but to his children.
All full of information, aren't you? You've been doing a lot of prying.
When your father died, the lawyers told us that much.
Well, did they tell you that it was only in case I had no heirs of my own?
Well, no, they didn't. But of course, you've never married, so you haven't.
Just lovely for you, isn't it? I remain a spinster, so that you can inherit a fortune worth $500,000.
$500,000?
Eyes open, huh? Now you want me to give it to you so you can get a husband. Something I never had.
That was of your own choosing,
No,
Caroline.
it wasn't. I sacrificed myself to my father when you stole his only son.
That's not true, Caroline.
You stole him by your soft, simpering ways, and you ruined my father's life. No, Eleanor, I wouldn't help you if you were starving in the gutter.
Aunt Caroline!
I know you wouldn't, Caroline. I don't ask you to. All I ask you to do is help Richard's children. I won't take a cent. I won't use a cent. I'll live on my earnings from music lessons.
Don't make me laugh.
After all, it will be there someday. Why can't you give them a little something now and it will do the most good?
It'll be there someday? Is that what you think?
You know it's true. There's no way you can get out of it,
I'm glad you think so.
isn't it?
Eleanor, I suggest you call in your whole family. I have something to tell them. Go on, it's important.
Agnes, get the girls.
Girls, Cicely!
Ricky? Now, Caroline, if you say anything to hurt them,
Peanuts, get your peanuts. Peanuts, dum-dum-dum-dum.
Show they're bringing up.
girls, this is your Aunt Caroline.
Hello, Aunt Caroline. Hello, Aunt Caroline.
You're the one who made faces at me today.
No, I didn't. Cross my heart.
Would you like a cup of tea, Aunt Caroline?
Certainly not. Yes, I will too. You tore me away from mine. Here, fix me a cup. You know the way I like it.
Yes, Miss Caroline.
I hope it's tea bag so I know it's sanitary.
Yes, Lipton.
I'll go.
Would you like a cup, Mother?
Yes, please. I am a little exhausted.
The bad penny again.
Oh, Dave, I forgot you were coming. Have you met Miss Endicott?
Oh, how do you do?
My Aunt Caroline?
Oh,
Is this the young man you're hoping to marry?
why yes. Don't tell me you've been discussing it.
I think you're doing quite well for yourself, don't you? Going to marry a fortune.
Would you like a cup of tea, Miss McLean?
Oh, thank you, Richard.
Mother, this is one of my teachers from school, Miss McLean.
Oh, how do you do?
Let's sit over here.
Yes, by all means, ladies and gentlemen, gather round, for what I'm about to say concerns you all.
Mother?
Okay, Aunt Caroline?
Hardly. I never eat between meals.
I'll take one.
When you're all quite ready. Not now. My father, Your grandfather left a will. In this will, his entire estate passed to me for life, with the proviso that upon my death, it would pass to Richard Endicott's children, if I had no issue of my own. That estate today, through my careful management, is worth roundly $600,000. Yes, whistle for it. That's all you will ever do. For your benefit, my dear nieces and nephews, and hangers-on, first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to the county courthouse, there to file papers for the adoption of a child of my own, a legal heir of my own.
Caroline, you couldn't. You couldn't be that cruel.
Cruel?
You couldn't take something from your own flesh and blood and leave it to some strange child you didn't love.
I do love this child, very much. She's the only one who's ever been kind to me, who's ever taken the slightest interest in my welfare. She laughs at my little jokes. For you see, the child I intend adopting, the child who will inherit my estate, is none other than Miss Mina Babbitt.
Me?
Yes, Mina dear, you.
Oh, Caroline, how could you do such a thing?
You know, Eleanor, I really enjoyed it. Oh, I'll have that tea now, Mina. Perhaps now you won't be so anxious for me to die. And of course it completely spoils your little plan of getting money from me in advance. That would be something you'd have to take up with little Miss Babbitt.
Oh, Caroline, I wish you'd leave.
Gladly, when I've finished my tea.
Mrs. Endicott, please let me explain. I knew nothing of this, I assure you.
It's quite all right, Miss Babbitt. We don't blame you.
Mina,
What is it?
I'm ill. Something in that tea.
Miss Caroline!
I'm dying! Oh!
Quick, somebody get a doctor.
I'm afraid it's too late. She's dead.
Dead!
Poisoned.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Now that there has been a murder, I will be taking over the scene here. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Lieutenant Clayton of the Police Department. While I make my initial investigations, you are free for a 15-minute intermission. Over along here are the restrooms. First on the right, ladies. Second on the right, the men's. Over on this side, refreshments being sold. Drinks and candies for $1 each. If you're getting refreshments, we do ask that you first enter over here. There's a hallway in the back, and then you can come out that way so you're not running into people. You'll have 15 minutes, and then after that, you have one more scene to decide who did it. Thank you. Hello, Endicott residents. Now, the Endicotts aren't in right now. They're all at the funeral. Who's calling, please? This is Lieutenant Clayton of the Police Department. No charges have been made. Yet.
Oh,
What's this, a steamroller?
I didn't know you was here.
Then we're even. I didn't know any of the Endicotts weren't at the funeral.
Mom said I couldn't go, so it'd be too morbid. What's morbid?
Unpleasant, I suppose.
I always get hoops in my stomach when I see anything unpleasant. Do you?
I used to, but not anymore. I'm used to that sort of thing now.
Anyway, I gotta stay home from school today. What are you? A cop?
In a way,
And where's your uniform and tux?
I'm a member of the homicide squad. That's a fancy name for a detective.
What's the homicide squad?
We investigate homicides, murders.
Whoa, what are you doing here?
Well, when someone dies suddenly, we like to check up on things, like medicine bottles.
Did you get those at Ricky's last keep? Won't like it.
Your brother Ricky knows a lot about medicines and things, does he?
Uh-huh. But once when my face broke out, he gave me this stuff to put on it, and it cured it right away.
What sort of stuff is that?
A white powder. Arsenic, I think he called it. Yeah, he's almost as good as a doctor. He reads those big medicine notepads.
The rest of your family, they know about medicines too?
Nobody's ever allowed in there. Why once when I went in there, Ricky got awful mad. Ma said I better never go in there again, or she'd lick me. I haven't, and she didn't.
That's a good idea. The doctor's office is no place for little girls. Or big ones either.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Somebody, you better sit down. I know you must be exhausted.
Thank you, I think I will.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thank you. Cicely, you have skates on in the house again?
I forgot. I just got to talking and forgot.
Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, Lieutenant?
No, just general conversation. I've been waiting for your return.
Let me take your things away.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it.
I know you must be pretty upset and everything, and I won't keep you for long, but I do have some questions.
Oh, we've been expecting them. Ricky, Burl, you better come in too. I suppose you want all the suspects assembled?
Nothing like that, Miss Endicott. It's far too early for any charges.
Oh, hello, Lieutenant Clayton.
Jesus, they're cops!
Girl, none of that. Come in and sit down quietly, please.
Looks like a morgue.
Burl!
So you've been exploring, Lieutenant?
Ah, yes, I'm taking these down to the coroner's office for analysis.
No need of that. I can tell you, Lieutenant. This is chloral hydrate, this iodoform, and this is arsenic trioxide.
Better known as white arsenic.
Yes, useful for malaria, anemia, and diseases of the skin.
And other things as well, such as killing vermin.
Yes, that's right.
Lieutenant Clayton, there can't be the slightest suspicion that any of this family had anything to do with the death of Caroline Endicott.
Mrs. Endicott, according to the coroner's report, which I have here in my pocket, Caroline Endicott met her death by poisoning. Traces of both white arsenic and solanine being found in the body.
Solanine?
Yeah, any idea what that is? Young Dr. Kildare doesn't know about solanine. My.
Do you?
No.
Neither do I.
But I do know that this bottle has white arsenic, and everyone in this room had access to it.
None of us ever went into the laboratory, ever.
Which would seem to exonerate everyone except Ricky.
Ricky? Well, you certainly don't suppose
I
that
don't
he-
suppose anything. I'm only trying to find a basis for certain incontrovertible facts. Caroline Endicott died in this room. She was poisoned. Two things there's no supposing about.
There's no call for sarcasm, Lieutenant.
I understand your attitude, Mrs. Endicott. It's only natural. A mother hen protecting her chicks.
It's more than that, Lieutenant. You see, I know them. I know what's in their minds, their hearts. I know them. And I know none of them can so much as harm a spider.
Well, there, you have the advantage. I don't know them. So I have to ask questions.
He's right, Mom. He has to ask questions. And as long as we're innocent, what have we got to fear?
Just the attitude I like to have.
You know, I think
Oh, Sissy, sit still and be quiet.
No, Sissy, what do you think?
I think Miss Mabbit did it.
Miss Mabbit? Miss Caroline's secretary? Why?
Because she's the most innocent-looking person of us all. She's the person having those vivid pictures. The little timid person that wanted her to fly. But in the end, they're a bloodthirsty vampire in disguise.
Very good. Yes, that's a great way of finding suspects in movies. However, this happens to be a genuine original crime.
Not even a reasonable facsimile?
Girl.
And in real life, it usually isn't the least likely person at all, but the most obvious suspect.
Who in this case would be...
Mrs. Endicott.
Mother?
Why not?
But that's ridiculous. What possible reason could she have?
That's what I want you to tell me.
We'll tell you nothing. Lieutenant Clayton, if you definitely believe that any of us had anything to do with the death of Anne Caroline, then I demand you allow us to consult a lawyer.
There's no need for lawyers. Yet. All I'm looking for is a little cooperation. Just a little, like Sissy gave just now. She had an idea. Maybe one of you has a better one.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Hackman called and said that you couldn't practice today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good riddance.
What do we care? We're rich!
Rich!
Earl, would you kindly keep your mouth shut?
That is something I intended on checking, but as you seem to know already, just what are the contents of Miss Endicott's will?
We don't know.
Then why did Earl say you were rich?
It was just wishful thinking. After all, the whole town knows Caroline was wealthy, and we are her only relatives, so it's natural to think we'll inherit something.
Very well.
Oh, Sissy, go to the door, will you?
Mind if I look something up in the encyclopedia?
Oh, sure, go ahead. I'm rather interested in Solonine myself.
It's Miss Mabbott.
Good morning. I found your message when I returned to the house from the funeral, Lieutenant.
Yes, I'd taken the liberty of inviting Miss Mabbott over. I wanted to go over a few questions in her presence.
If you don't mind, Lieutenant, I'm in rather a hurry. I'm all packed to leave. I'd like very much to catch the 12:30 train.
See, didn't I tell you? She's making her getaway.
Leaving town, Miss Mabbott.
I'm visiting my brother in Westwood now that there's nothing to keep me here.
Very well. Have a seat.
Here.
Thank you.
Miss Mabbott, you were Caroline Endicott's personal secretary.
Her secretary and companion, yes?
And how long have you been in her employ?
11 years.
Quite a time. You must have gotten to know her very well.
Very well, yes.
Was she a nice person to work for?
She was demanding, but always fair. She gave me a position when I needed one badly. I've always been very grateful to her.
And now with her passing, you've lost this position.
Yes.
What are your chances of finding another?
Not very good, I'm afraid. You see, I'm not trained for anything special. Miss Caroline was my only employer, and I'm afraid she took me more out of friendship. She'd gone to school with my mother.
So you gained nothing by her death.
I lost everything.
Everything? What do you mean?
Didn't they tell you?
You tell me what?
Well, no need now.
Come, Miss Mabbott.
I'll tell you, Lieutenant. If Aunt Caroline had lived a day longer, Miss Mabbott would have been her sole heir.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is news. Is that true, Miss Mabbott?
Yes.
Why? Why a day longer? What was she going to do?
Shortly before she was taken ill, Aunt Caroline told us she intended on adopting Miss Mabbott.
Adopting her. Isn't that rather ridiculous?
Perhaps, but it's the only way she could leave her fortune.
Why?
Really, Lieutenant, there's no reason to go through all this. It's over and done with. Miss Caroline is dead. Nothing you can do will help things now.
I think we can still help a great many things, Miss Mabbott. I want you to tell me everything that went on here Wednesday evening.
Everything?
Yes, everything, from the beginning.
Well, when we got here,
No, before that. Why did you come here?
because of the telephone call,
A telephone call.
I phoned Caroline. It was about 5 o'clock and told her that I wanted to see her right away. But she hung up the receiver in my ear.
Is that true?
I believe it is. But on Wednesday you said she was disconnected. Miss Caroline said that. All I know is that she hung up the receiver and said, must I tell?
Certainly.
She said that bad word, Eleanor.
She swore, Mrs. Endicott. Why?
I believe that she and this branch of the family were not on the friendliest terms.
Is that true?
Yes.
Why?
It has nothing to do with the murder and Aunt Caroline's death.
Why, Miss Mabbott?
I don't know.
Very well. Continue with what happened Wednesday.
After Miss Caroline had spoken that way, Mrs. Endicott, she said, I wonder what the whining fool wanted. Money-ill warrant. That's the only reason she'd come belly-aching to me. We'll all soon settle her hash. Get your hat. We're going over there.
And then?
And then we drove over here.
Go on.
Don't you think we're capable of telling you what happened here, Lieutenant? After all, we were all present.
Miss Mabbott wants to leave town. It's important that I have her story before she goes.
Mrs. Endicott asked Miss Caroline for some money for the children. Said she didn't want it for herself, but that they had a right to it as, according to their grandfather's will, they'd inherit the entire fortune on Miss Caroline's death.
You knew that, didn't you?
Yes.
Go on.
Miss Caroline admitted the truth of that, but only if she had no heirs of her own. And that she was going to adopt an heir the next day, and name me. I was so surprised I dropped my tea.
So she had never given you any indication before that she intended on naming you as her heir.
Not even the slightest inkling.
And then what happened?
The girls gathered up the broken teacup, and Miss Caroline asked for her tea. Mrs. Endicott was very angry and requested her to leave. As she got up to leave, she was taken ill and collapsed immediately. Before we could summon a doctor, she was dead.
I see. And you told me everything.
Yes.
Then the way I see it, if Caroline Endicott had lived until today, you would have been her sole heir, and the Endicott family wouldn't have received descent.
Yes.
But as it stands now, the Endicotts get your entire estate and you get nothing.
Yes.
Well then, it seems to me that somebody didn't want Miss Mabbitt adopted.
Wait a minute, Lieutenant. You don't think that in the brief period between Aunt Caroline's announcement and her death, one of us had time to, 1, decide to kill her, 2, prepare the poison, and 3, slip it into her tea?
So you know it was in her tea.
Of course I don't know, I'm only supposing.
This cup of tea, who gave it to her?
I did. The girls brought in the tea service and I prepared 2 cups. One for myself, one for Miss Caroline because she likes it a particular strain.
Did she eat or drink anything else?
No, she refused the cakes when I passed them.
And did you put sugar in the tea?
In Miss Caroline's, but not in my own. I don't use it.
Cream?
No, just a little squeeze of lemon.
And you prepared this with your own hands, and you gave it to Caroline yourself.
Yes.
Well, it's got me. Of all the people in this room, you're the only one who didn't want Caroline to die. Lost everything by her death.
Miss Mabbitt, I want you to understand that as soon as the estate is settled, your salary will be continued.
Thank you. That's most kind of you. May I go now, Lieutenant?
Yes, just a moment. I'll want to have your address so I can reach you later. We'll need your testimony for the trial.
Trial? Whose trial?
I don't know yet, but rest assured there will be one. If ever there is a case of cold-blooded murder, this is it. Your address, please.
Care of Horace Mabbitt, 22 York Street, Westwood.
Thank you.
I want you to know, Mrs. Endicott, that I'll do anything I can to help you. And if anyone here does get into trouble, please, please don't fail to send for me.
Thank you, Miss Mabbitt. I'll remember that.
Is that all, Lieutenant?
Yes, you may go. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gee, you're some detective, Sissy. The only person who wouldn't have committed the murder.
Okay. Could I go wrong sometimes?
Well, what happened to the teacup Caroline drank from?
After they took her away, Sissy and I washed up.
Everything.
And put them in the cupboard.
How about the sugar bowl? Did you empty that out?
No, it's really good tea service. We only use it for company.
Go get it for me.
Sure. You don't think the poison was in it, Lieutenant?
Why not? What does this look like to you?
Sugar.
It's white arsenic.
But if it were in the sugar, why wasn't anyone else poisoned? We all drank tea.
Did you? All of you?
Well, I didn't, but Mother did. Of course, she doesn't use sugar either.
And Miss McLean,
Miss McLean? Who's that?
Ricky's teacher.
You never told me she was here.
You never asked, and it never entered my head. She certainly had nothing to do with it. She was here on an entirely different matter.
What?
She came to see Mother about a scholarship for Ricky.
Where can I reach her?
The high school, I suppose.
Anyone else here you've forgotten to tell me about? Give me the high school. I don't know the number. This is the police.
All of us, Miss Mabbitt, Miss McLean, and of course Dave.
Dave. Thompson, the reporter. I want to talk to a Miss McLean. I don't care if she's teaching a class. This is the police. Tell her I want to talk to her now. At the Endicott residence. Immediately. What was Thompson doing here?
He's a friend of mine. We had a date that evening.
Here it is, but it's empty.
Empty? Who emptied it? Which one of you emptied this? Where's the boy, Ricky? Ricky! Ricky! He's gone!
Gone? He must have gone out the office door.
Police headquarters.
What is it?
I want to call it out for one Richard Endicott. Age, how old?
17.
Age 17. Height, about 5'10". Weight, 175. Blonde hair, blue eyes, wearing a blue pinstripe suit, black tie. He's wanted on suspicion of murder.
No! What do you mean?
Read this. What a dope I was letting him go in there all unsuspecting.
Dear Mother, having been the cause of all your troubles, I'm going away.
Please will try to find me, Ricky. P.S. Love to Agnes Burrows, Sissy. Ricky, don't worry.
Don't worry. What does he mean the cause of all your trouble?
Ricky couldn't have done it. He was never near the sugar bowl.
Yes, he was. He fixed it.
That's not all that's missing.
What is
Look at
it?
this. Taber's Medical Dictionary. The page with solanine on it has been ripped out.
What is solanine?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out unless he's ripped it out of all the books.
I know what it is.
You know, Mother?
Yes. It's a poison that's found in... Oh, Burl, go to the door. We'll talk later.
Hello, Burl, it's Agnes here.
Oh, yes, Dave.
Oh, good, I wanted to warn you, the police are investigating.
Yes, Dave. We know.
Whatever you do, don't tell them that Caroline threatened to have gotten mad.
But Dave...
If you tell them that, they'll suspect plenty.
And as they have told that, we do suspect plenty.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Thompson.
It's good to see you. Good to see they've got a good man on the case.
Thanks. I understand that you were here at the scene of the crime.
If you're asking if I was here when Miss Caroline was taken ill, yes.
That's what I'm asking. What for? Business or pleasure?
A pleasure. A lot of pleasure. That is, I had a date with Miss Endicott.
And I take it from your comments on the way in that you are in on the Family Feud.
Well, I was here, but I didn't pay much attention.
Oh, I know. That's a failing of you newspaper boys.
Dave, Ricky's run away.
What? Why?
He left us note. Mom, can I have a piece of bread and sugar?
That reminds me about the sugar.
What does he mean he's to blame?
We don't know.
What it means is he put arsenic in the sugar bowl.
Arsenic in the sugar?
That's how I figure it was done.
Oh, no. Then everyone drinking tea would have been poisoned.
No, they wouldn't. Only those who had sugar. Someone's in the lab.
Dave, we've got to find Ricky. He's got to come back of his own free will. Otherwise, we'll never convince the police that he's innocent.
It's Dan.
Go. Is this young man a friend of yours?
Dan!
I take it he is.
What were you doing in the laboratory?
Nothing.
Dan, have you seen Ricky?
No.
What were you doing in there? Come on, fella, you better talk.
Believe it or not, I'm practicing my lateral pass.
Okay, bud, listen up. We're in the middle of a murder investigation here. And when a strange young man bursts on the scene, the usual idea is to take an interest, see? Now, what were you doing in that laboratory? Nothing! Not that it matters. Because this is just a plain, ordinary, not a facsimile, case of housebreaking. And I could get you locked up so fast!
Go ahead, lock me up. Well, I'm not talking.
That's no way to act, Sonny. Come on, be a man.
Don't talk to Dan like that. He's a man plenty. He's taking me to the dance tonight.
There's a dance tonight, is there? So I suppose he just came here to slip Valentine under the door.
Oh, Dan, you'd better tell him what you were doing in there. Did you see Ricky and did he send you for something?
No. Did you know that he's missing and that the police are looking for him?
No. Well, they are. And he is. And I think you know where he is.
No, I don't.
Well, then maybe it's time that we did a little searching, isn't it?
You can't do that. You don't want to search warrant.
I don't need a search warrant because I am a witness for burglary.
Give me that.
Come back here with that.
What was it Dan had?
A pocketbook.
A woman's pocketbook.
Whose pocketbook? Where's it in the laboratory?
It's mine.
It was so not yours, it was red.
It was still mine.
It was so not yours, you don't write pocketbooks so there.
What would Dan be doing at your house this time of day stealing a pocketbook?
There's only one explanation. Ricky sent him.
Ricky sent him. But what would Ricky be doing with the woman's pocketbook?
Well, I can't imagine.
It's mine. I tell you, it's mine.
Where do you think you're going?
No, girl. Stop these and they're a secret.
Girl, don't be silly!
I don't care. A woman does not let people see her pocketbook if she doesn't want to.
Girl, what are you so excited about? Come here to me.
Let's come over her anyway. I never saw her with a pocketbook like that.
I don't care whose pocketbook it is. I want to see what's in it.
No. You won't let him, will you, Mother?
Let me have it, dear.
Oh, but you won't open it, will you?
We'll see. Now, Dan, what is this all about?
I don't know.
Is this Merle's pocketbook?
Yes, it is.
I never saw it before. When did you get it?
Just the other day. I found it, yes, at school.
And you don't know whose it is? Wasn't there a name inside?
No, so I thought I'd keep it. I need a new one, and I guess I must have lost it myself today at the funeral. And Dan must have found it for me, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, I found it on the front steps of the church, and I thought I'd bring it back to you.
So you see, Dan wasn't stealing it at all. He was doing me a favor. He was returning it to me. You see, Dan wasn't stealing it at all.
I think we'd better see what's inside. Oh, how lovely. Never knew you had one like this, girl.
Let's see it.
Pretty red gloves and a lipstick. Since when have you been using lipstick?
I just wanted to see how I look. After all, I'm getting plenty old.
Let's see. Oh, and a cigarette case? Girl, don't tell me you've taken up smoking.
Yes, I have, Mother. You might as well know it. I'm a disgraced woman.
Are you, dear? I'm so sorry to hear that. Perhaps you'd like one now to quiet your nerves.
Don't mind if I do. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, let's cut the comedy. We all know that isn't hers. What else is in there?
This has an embroidered M.
Ooh, let's see what this is.
Who's it addressed to?
Louise McLean, the Knowles Hotel.
So that's whose this is. I wonder who wrote it.
I'll go.
I'll take charge of this.
Oh, come in, please. We were just talking about you.
Were you?
How nice.
Oh, I see. You have a handkerchief just like mine.
Yes.
You're Louise McLean.
Why, yes.
Come in, we've been waiting for you.
Oh, I see. You found the handbag. I was so afraid I'd lost it. Thank you so
Just a minute.
much.
You were here Wednesday evening, weren't you?
Yes.
You were here when Caroline Endicott was poisoned, weren't you?
I was here when she was taken ill, yes.
And you left us here that night, didn't you?
Perhaps.
And then this morning you asked Dan to come here and get it for you.
Yes, but why all the mystery?
All the mystery is why Dan sneaked into the office door and tried to get away with this without it being seen.
Did you do that, Dan?
Yeah, well, I kind of tripped over something on the way out.
But why?
Well, you said, I don't know.
Isn't it true, Miss McLean, that there's something in this pocketbook you don't want us to know about?
Certainly not.
Oh, well then here, how about you open it up and we see what's inside?
There's nothing inside. Lipstick, some hairpins, a powder puff, an old letter.
An old letter. And just what is that old letter?
Really? I don't think I have to go through this questioning. I left my pocketbook here quite by accident, and you have no right to question me as to its contents. I did send Dan for it this morning, but I assumed he would ask for it at the front door.
Why this morning? You left it here Wednesday.
Well, I didn't want to disturb the Endicotts. I knew they were busy with funeral arrangements and all.
Really, Lieutenant, Miss McLean knows absolutely nothing about what happened here Wednesday evening. She found an entirely different matter. She didn't even know Aunt Caroline was coming till she arrived.
Did you know Caroline Endicott?
Certainly. In a business way, she was head of the Board of Education.
You had no quarrel with her?
Of course not.
Did you have tea that evening?
Yes.
Do you have sugar with your tea?
No, I never use it.
There, that proves it. Proves what? The poison was in the sugar. There were only 4 cups of tea drunk that evening. And of the 4, only Caroline had sugar. And of the 4, only Caroline died. But what a chance anyone was taking. Putting arsenic in the sugar? Whoever did it knew that only Caroline took sugar.
But how could any of us have known that? She never had tea here before.
Anyway, Miss Maddox fixed hers.
But we know that she wouldn't kill the goose that laid the golden egg. Now, there must have been somebody else at the tea service. Someone who saw to it what went into each cup. Somebody... Who served you yours?
Richard. I mean,
Richard. Always Richard. Did he offer you sugar?
No, he knows I never use it. We've had tea together before.
There, that proves it. Richard's the one, and I let him get away.
No!
Police headquarters. Richard put the poison in, and then Richard dumped it out.
No!
Clayton, 802, reporting. Any luck on that call out in the Endicott, boy? We'll get him. He's wanted for murder.
Lieutenant, Ricky couldn't possibly have done it. Now, I'll tell you why.
Of course he couldn't have, you dope, Earl!
Why not?
Because I did.
Oh.
Did what?
Emptied the sugar bowl.
Quite a little martyr, aren't you? It was my pocketbook. I emptied the sugar bowl. Little Miss Joan of Arc, aren't you?
You don't believe me? I'll show you where I dumped it. In the drawer.
Because I got my bread.
What?
Oh, Sissy, I know!
Oh, now what?
Sissy! Oh! Quick, what's an antidote? Only Ricky, we're here.
Oh, arsenic, magnesium, an antidote, and castor oil.
No, we better get her to bed. Dave, help me carry her out. Mother, call Dr. Hartley.
Yes.
I left the alarm for the sugar. On fire from the black night.
Bring the two of you, quick! Hello, Dr. Hartley. Yes, this is Mrs. Endicott. Can you come over right away? Sissy's taken poison. Hurry!
Well, maybe there wasn't any poison in the sugar.
But there was. It tasted bitter. That's why I emptied it.
Why, girl? What on earth made you empty it?
Because I saw Agnes put something in it.
No, girl, no.
Yes, and now she's killed Sissy too.
No, I don't believe it. I can't.
What does arsenic taste like?
It's an acrid metallic taste.
Yep, that's it all right. Get the call for a doctor.
How is she?
We gave some magnesia. Lieutenant, I have a confession to make. I put the arsenic in the sugar.
You?
Yes, she threatened to keep us from what was rightfully ours, so I did away with her.
Agnes, no. You don't know what you're saying.
Yes, I do. I thought I could get away with it, but now with what's happened to Sissy, I don't want to anymore.
You killed Caroline Endicott, not Ricky.
Yes,
When?
when we were arranging the tea things in the kitchen, before Caroline came,
Where did you get it?
from that bottle there out of the laboratory.
And you mixed it with the sugar.
Yes.
You don't mean it, Agnes. You're all
Yes,
out
I
of-
do. Go away, Dave. There's nothing for you here.
But Agnes!
Go away and thank your stars you escaped from marrying into a family and murderers.
But Agnes!
Go away! I killed that Caroline and no one else. Don't you understand? I killed her.
Okay, now you've seen the murder, you've heard some questions and some answers, and the confession. Time for you to decide who you think the murderer is. We'll be collecting your answers, and then after the show, we'll tell you, well, after the show, you'll know who was right.
Who should we?
Extra, extra! Read all about the murder! Caroline Endicott has been poisoned! Read about the murder in the extra paper!
Extra!
Read about the Caroline step!
Did you buy one?
No, I didn't want to leave the porch. All the people out there staring, you'd think they'd never seen a house before.
They used to be our friends, our neighbors, and now they stare at us as though we were animals.
Mother, you're doodling again.
Oh, I'm so nervous, I don't know what to think.
You should have heard the people outside. No doubt in your minds, they even tried to grab me. I guess they wanted to know what the sister of a murderess felt like.
Girl, don't say that. Agnes is no more a murderess than you are.
But Mom, she confessed of her own free will, and I saw her myself with arsenic and sugar.
You must be wrong. She wouldn't have done it in front of you.
She didn't know I was looking. She thought I was doing potatoes.
Just what did Agnes do?
She was fixing the tea service. She went out and came back in with a cup of white stuff in it. She opened the lid to the good sugar bowl, poured it in, and stirred it. That was just before Aunt Caroline came.
You're positive. Why didn't you say something at the time?
I just thought she was adding more sugar. Should I?
No, I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Dr. Hartley. Yes, Sissy's sleeping quite peacefully, thank you. What? The analysis showed
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. And thank you, Dr. Hartley. Bye.
What is it?
Oh, Dr. Hartley made an analysis of the contents of Sissy's stomach. Absolutely no trace of poison.
Then what's made her so sick?
Fright and an overdose of castor oil.
I mean, she wasn't pretty knowledgeable with sugar.
No, we just assumed she was, filled her full of medicine and taking no chances. Dr. Hartley used a stomach pump. That's enough to make anybody sick.
Well, Lieutenant tasted it, and he said there was arsenic in it.
Nevertheless, Dr. Hartley says Sissy will be all right in the morning.
But if there is no arsenic in the sugar, and the sugar came from the sugar bowl, then Agnes couldn't have put anything in.
That's right. Burl, show me where you dumped the sugar.
In the far corner of the kitchen drawer.
Gosh, need 3 tackles and a guard to get through that line.
Dang! Sissy isn't going to die because there was never any arsenic in the sugar. Dr. Hartley just found it.
What? No arsenic?
Nothing.
But there must have been. It says so right here in the paper.
Let's see it.
Well, I guess you'll have to sometime.
Beautiful girl slays ants. Agnes Endicott, 687 Market Street, and a member of the staff of Middleton Public Library, was held without bail today in the mysterious death of Caroline Endicott, a well-known member of the community and president of the Board of Education. According to her own confession, Agnes Endicott placed arsenic in a sugar bowl while serving her aunt tea. According to Lieutenant Howard Clayton, who brought the case to a successful close, analysis of the sugar bowl showed enough poison to kill 10 men.
Well, something's wrong somewhere. Either Sissy's dead or Lieutenant Howard Clayton's a liar.
Hello.
Sissy,
Sissy, go back to bed!
how are you feeling?
Oh, good, except I can't stay in one place very long.
Want another piece of bread and sugar?
Oh, sure.
Sissy, darling, you shouldn't be downstairs.
Mom, is Agnes all right? Was she taken to jail?
Oh, Dave, you brought a paper.
Oh, you don't want to see that, Mrs. Endicott.
I know I don't, but I think I'd better. Oh, beautiful girl slays aunt, cold-blooded poisoning to gain fortune. Oh, Dave, how could you have?
Me? You don't think I wrote that, do you, Mrs. Endicott?
Who then?
I don't know, I quit.
You quit your job?
They wanted me to write an article headed, "I almost married a murderess." I told them to go to blazes.
But Dave, you shouldn't have. Aren't there enough things wrong without your being out of work?
Well, the thing to do now is clear Agnes.
But you can do more good at the paper.
I can do more good right here. Clayton's bungled this job like an amateur.
Dave, what do you know about ant killers?
Well, not much. There was that fellow who killed his aunt in Pocono.
Oh, no, not that. A-N-T killers, little ants.
Oh,
I had some in my kitchen,
yes,
so I asked Ricky if he had something I could put around the cracks to get rid of them.
yes.
He gave me some white powder. I sprinkled it in the drawer where Burl dumped the sugar.
Of course. That explains it. The powder Ricky gave you was arsenic. You put it in the drawer for the ants, and Burl dumped the sugar on top. And then Sissy came along and put some on her bread, but she only got from the surface. And then Clayton went in the kitchen and scraped up the rest, and got the arsenic from the bottom. Enough to kill 10 men, yeah. But it was never in the sugar.
Right.
But Agnes put something in, I saw her!
It must have been more sugar as you thought. She probably found there wasn't enough and took some from the bowl on the buffet.
But she confessed. Why?
She must be covering for someone. Or Ricky, maybe. Caroline was poisoned, there's no getting around that, no matter what was in the sugar bowl.
Could some of the powder gotten into her tea by accident?
I don't see how. Did she take any cream?
Lemon, just now it said.
Well, what about the tea itself? What was it?
Lipton tea bags.
Tea bags. Well, then the poison could have been in those. It's much more logical than in the sugar bowl. What did you do with them afterwards?
After we cleaned up, we put them in the garbage.
Is it still here?
It's collected every Wednesday and Saturday, so yes, they must still be outside in the cabin.
Oh, good. Come show me, girl.
Okay.
Sis, you go to bed.
I feel alright, Mom. Honest, more often than not.
Oh, yes, police headquarters, please.
What are you going to do, Mom?
I'm going to get Agnes released. You were living proof she was lying. Hello, yes, I want to talk to Lieutenant Clayton, please. What? This is Mrs. Endicott calling. Oh, he's on his way over. Thank you. What? Oh, just a minute. Westingman, Main 300. All right, I'll tell him.
What's that?
Lieutenant Clayton is on his way over, and as soon as he gets here, he's called this number right away.
But where are you going, Mommy?
I'm going down to the station to see Agnes, and I don't want to see you up when I get home.
But why?
I'm going to find out who it is she's lying to protect. And if it's who I think it is, she's all wrong. Where's my hat?
Oh, are you going out?
Yes, but come in, Miss McLean.
I came over to see if there were anything I could do.
Hello, Dan.
Oh my gosh, she's alive.
Yes, we found the sugar wasn't poisoned after all, so I'm going down to the station to see Agnes.
Well, let me drive you.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that.
Dan, take Mrs. Endicott to the station.
You reckon your car, Miss McLean?
Yes, the keys are in the ignition.
Thank you, Miss McLean. I do appreciate it. And please see that Sissy gets to bed, will you? Hurry, Dan.
Is your car insured, Miss McLean?
Yes.
Then you don't know what the word hurry means.
Now, you heard what your mother said, Cicely. How are you feeling, darling?
A little oozy. Miss McLean,
Yes.
that's the pocketbook Dan tried to steal today, isn't it?
Yes, but he wasn't trying to steal it. I sent him for it.
What was in it?
Nothing important, just some things of mine.
Then why wouldn't you run up to his request? Why did he lie and say he didn't know?
Did Dan do that?
You know what I think?
No.
Dan's the murderer.
Dan? Why on earth Dan?
Because he's so mysterious.
Tell me, Sissy, do you think Dan opened my pocketbook?
Oh, sure.
Do you think he knows what's inside? Do you think he read the letter?
Letter? What letter?
Oh, never mind. Now it's time for bed.
Hello, Miss McLean.
Oh, hello. What's all that?
Oh, how are you? We've been doing a little investigating.
Yeah, he's Ellery Queen and I'm Nikki, and we work in the garbage cans.
Looks like tea bags.
It is tea bag. What kind did you say you used, bro?
Lipton's.
Lipton. Well, this one's Tetley's.
The others were Lipton's.
Did you ever use Tetley's?
Never. I fixed the cups on Wednesday and I put a Lipton tea bag in each one.
A little stranger in our midst, eh?
Do you think the poison's in it?
Well, sure I do. Look, you can see where it's been cut open and re-sewed.
Don't you think you're jumping to conclusions? After all, another tea bag could have been mixed in.
Bro, get a cup of hot water.
What are you going to do?
We're going to mix up a cup of Tetley's.
As a matter of fact, on Wednesday, I think that Tetley was in my cup. Let me see the tap. Yes, I'm almost sure I noticed it.
Do you mean the poison was in your cup of tea?
I mean that the Tetley tea bag was in my cup, so that couldn't have been what killed Caroline. Shall we throw them away?
No.
Here it is. I got it from the faucet because I didn't think we'd be drinking it.
Really, I think we're being very melodramatic.
If this is poison, Dave, what does it mean?
It means that somebody prepared this tea bag in advance with the deliberate intent of murder. It has a strange Swedish taste to it.
Tastes like stale tea to me.
If only I were a chemist, I could analyze it.
Miss McLean knows chemistry. She teaches all the chemistry and biology at school. Couldn't you test this to see if there was any poison in it?
Sure, I'd be glad to. It'll take some time though.
Don't you think we should wait for the coroner?
Oh, no, it'll save time, and I know all the chemical reactions.
Well, maybe I should give you a hand.
Good, last week his lab was going to do some good.
Burl,
Ricky?
shut the door.
Oh, cool, so you guys don't get disturbed. Ricky, where have you been?
What's Miss McLean doing here?
They're analyzing the tea. Dave thinks that's where the poison was.
They mustn't. Don't let them.
Why?
Because Mother killed Aunt Caroline.
Mother, oh no, Ricky, no.
Yes.
Is that why you ran away, so they think it was you?
Yes, and when I saw in the paper that Agnes was arrested, I knew I had to come back. Don't the police think I had anything to do with it at all?
Agnes confessed. That's all I wanted.
Agnes confessed like I ran away, to take suspicion off of Mother.
But why Mother? What makes you think it was her?
I know positively. Bro, we've got to do something. We've got to stop them from analyzing that tea.
Why? It's probably Lieutenant Clayton.
Get rid of him and stop Dave.
Mother's in here, Lieutenant. She went down to the station
Did she? Why?
to tell you about Sissy. Because there was never any arsenic in the sugar. She's not dead!
But I tasted it myself. It was tested.
I know. There was arsenic on the bottom, but not the top. Sissy got the top and you got the bottom.
What are you talking about?
I dumped the sugar in the drawer and there was arsenic on the bottom for ants. Come on, let me show you.
Yeah, arsenic for ants. It's what you guys specialize in.
Sissy screaming.
Dave, what is it?
I think something's happened to Cicely.
She's all right. She's giving her all for me.
I think she came this way. Sissy,
What's happened?
The poison must have gotten to her.
It was like a nightmare.
let's put her on the couch.
What could happen to her?
Maybe there's someone upstairs in the dining room. Maybe you should go look.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should.
Sissy, are you okay? Sissy,
Sure, I'm all right.
What do you think you're doing?
Ricky made me.
Ricky? Is Ricky here?
Uh-huh. And I've got the case all solved.
You've got the case solved, but how?
With this letter.
That's Miss McLean's letter. Where did you get it?
You're not the only detective in this family.
Nobody upstairs. She must have been dreaming.
I think she's coming to now.
Well, I found out what it was.
You're here?
Yes, I've been doing a little chemistry. Your tea bag, Mr. Thompson, contains tea.
I don't believe it.
What are you talking about?
Just a minute, Lieutenant. Miss McLean, ever since I suggested analyzing that tea bag, you've been acting rather strangely.
What do you mean?
I mean that I think you're involved in this a lot more than you let on.
Involved in it? How could I possibly be involved in it?
Well, I don't know, but perhaps a certain letter will explain.
My letter?
Yes.
Where did she get that? I found it. Give it to me, it's my property.
I think you'd better have this, Lieutenant.
What's the point of all this agonizing? Agnes has already confessed.
Agnes has confessed my eye. Agnes has had no idea what's going on in this house. Lieutenant, I demand you read that letter.
I demand you give it back to me.
Very well. Ladies before gentlemen.
Lieutenant, I'm warning you.
Thank you.
I can remember what it says. Dear Miss McClay, it has come to my personal attention that you indulge in smoking and move with a fast crowd. We cannot have this from the teachers at our school unless we receive your resignation by return home. I shall demand these steps in your dismissal. Yours truly, Caroline Endicott, President, Board of Education.
Is this true, Miss McLean?
Yes.
So you did have motive for killing her.
I hardly think it's strong enough for murder.
No? Then why were you so intent on us not seeing this?
It was personal.
Dated the 15th. That means you would have gotten it Wednesday.
Well, I still didn't poison Caroline Endicott. I received the letter, yes, and I was angry with her vulgar insinuations. But I still didn't kill her.
How do we know she didn't? She was here on Wednesday. She was angry, and she met Caroline here. And she knows all about poison. And you've been very reluctant about my checking the tea.
I was not reluctant. I merely thought it was useless. And as the examination showed, it was.
What did you do at the tea bag, Miss McLean?
I destroyed it.
What? Destroyed it? The only evidence against you? Lieutenant, I demand you arrest Miss McLean for the murder of Caroline Endicott. Well?
Wait a minute.
When did you get here?
Never mind, I'm here, and you're all wrong. Dave, really you are. Miss McLean had nothing to do with it.
Ricky, why didn't you stay hidden? Now you've spoiled everything.
I don't care. I couldn't let you take the blame. Whatever she's done, or however suspicious she may have seemed, Dave, it was because she was helping me.
You mean even the lies about the letter were for you?
No, but I knew about it. When she came here on Wednesday, she showed it to me. She knew we were relatives of Aunt Caroline. She thought maybe we could help her keep her job.
Well, it was my first. And very important that it not be discharged.
She didn't know that Aunt Caroline hated us as much as she hated her. When she realized we had no influence, she told me she'd write her resignation to the board that night. I didn't want her to. Miss McLean's a swell teacher, and she's gone out of her way to help me, getting the scholarship and all. So I told her I'd try to do something with Aunt Caroline. So I killed her.
You?
Yes, I killed her. Agnes was wanting to protect me. So was Miss McLean. She hid me in her house this afternoon. I poisoned Aunt Caroline. The poison's in this tea bag. I put it there.
What kind?
Solanine.
So that's why you ripped the page out of the dictionary and pretended not to know what it was.
Yes.
What about the arsenic? Is it also in here?
No, only Solanine.
Oh! Sissy, be quiet!
I just remember something I've got to do.
Well, go do it. You don't have to shout it to the whole world.
It's for Lieutenant Clayton. There's a number he's supposed to call. Here you go.
How long you been holding this from me?
A long time. There's so much else in my mind.
I can't even find where the number is. This thing's all covered with doodads.
Mother always says that on everything. There, Dr. Mustigman.
Oh, okay. Main 300. I don't want anyone here to go anywhere or to say anything until I'm done.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Clayton. I just have to.
Hello, Dr. Westingman. This is Clayton of the police. I just got your note. What is it? Yeah. Yes, that's right, arsenic. What? Yeah, I'll say that makes a difference. Cancer? 6 months to live. Caroline know about it. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks a bunch. Good grief.
Aunt Caroline had cancer?
She was under a doctor's care. That's what Westingman wanted to tell me. He read about the arsenic in the newspaper. Arsenic was the medicine he was using in her treatment. Explains why the coroner found it in her system. But it's not what killed her. I guess you're right about the Solanine. I'll order Agnes released. Police headquarters.
What is Solanine?
It's a poison of the nightshade family, found in potatoes.
Potatoes? Clayton, 802. Release the Endicott girl. She's been lying. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the killer right now.
But you can't mean Aunt Caroline died from potatoes.
Not the potatoes themselves. Solanine is found in the green parts of the plant, in the leaves, and in the sprouts from the eyes.
And that's what was in the tea bag.
Yes, someone had dried shredded potato sprouts and mixed them in with the tea. When hot water was added, naturally the poison infused.
And that's what Aunt Caroline died from?
Yes, it's a slow poison, but I suppose the arsenic in her system caused it to react quicker.
And that's what Mother must have meant.
Mother never heard of Solanine. I did it.
Oh, come off it. Agnes was lying. McLean was lying. Now you're lying. Who for?
Who said I was lying?
He's lying to protect Mother.
Shut up, Earl!
He's all wrong. Mother didn't do it. I know she did.
Of course you didn't. I did.
Oh, shut up! What makes you think that he thinks your mother did it?
He told me, but he's all wrong. Mother didn't do it.
And how do you know?
Because I killed Aunt Caroline.
I give up. This is the most self-sacrificing family I've ever met. What about you, Sissy? Aren't you going to admit that you killed Caroline too?
No, I helped the girl.
You did not. I did it all by myself. I put the potato sprouts in the tea bag.
Wait a minute. How did you know potatoes poison?
Mother told me, and
Your mother told.
No, she didn't.
Now we're getting somewhere. And why did you rip that page out of the dictionary so I wouldn't find out what solanine was?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Because there were plenty of other books in there that told me what solanine was.
I had to hurry, so I cut out the first one I saw.
You ripped out that page because there was something else on it. Something you didn't want me to see. Something that proves someone else had been looking up solanine recently. And that someone else was your mother. Answer me, boy. It was your mother, wasn't it?
It was his mother. Ricky, I'm sure she wouldn't want you to take the blame. After all, she can't go on living knowing you're innocent. Can't you see, Lieutenant? All these lies, all these self-sacrifices are for one purpose only, to save Mrs. Endicott. To save her because her whole family loves her.
She had plenty of reason to kill Aunt Caroline. I'd have done it myself if she hadn't.
What was on that dictionary page?
Can you hand me my pocketbook? This is what I didn't want you to see. Ricky asked me to keep it.
The description of solanine. And it's all covered with doodads.
Mother always scribbles on everything.
When Ricky found this, he realized his mother had been reading up on the poison.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these little doohickeys look like teapots.
Wait a minute, though. There are a lot of things here that don't hold water. Why would Mrs. Endicott prepare the tea bags? And why were they Tetley's instead of Lipton? She had no warning Caroline was coming over. And she had no idea she'd be drinking tea. That was Agnes's idea.
That's right. In fact, we'd already been served our tea before Caroline made the statement about adopting Miss Mabbitt. So Mrs. Endicott couldn't have used the tea bag man, and before that, she had no motive.
Oh, she had a motive, all right. She knew that the kids were in their grandfather's will. She was going to ask Caroline for money. And if she didn't get money by asking, she'd get it by giving. Poison.
But Mother was sitting over here. She was never near the tea service. I'm positive she couldn't possibly switch the tea bags.
That's right, I remember she never left the sofa.
Who was at the tea service?
I was, Miss Mabbitt, Ricky, Agnes, that's all.
I helped too.
Yes, Sissy helped.
Wait a minute. I've got it. I see it so clearly now. It's like a film developing. Caroline brought the tea bag with her. She knew she was dying. She came for revenge. She took the poison here in your house so one of you would be blamed for her murder.
Of course that's it! How blind we've been! Your mother didn't kill her. No one killed her. She committed suicide.
It explains everything. She did it out of meanness and spite.
Now hold on. People will do a lot of things out of spite, I'll grant you that, but suicide? No, that's cutting off an awful long nose.
But she was dying. And Dr. Westingman just told you. She was taking arsenic for cancer, had only 6 months to live.
Who said anything about cancer? She was taking arsenic for hay fever.
Hay fever?
Yeah.
Arsenic is a specific for hay fever.
But you did say cancer 6 months over the phone. I heard you.
Yeah, you heard me. That was not Caroline. Westingman was telling me that Miss Mabbitt had cancer with 6 months to live.
Wait a minute. Mabbitt had cancer? And Caroline knew it?
Yeah.
And still she was going to adopt her?
Yeah. I don't get it.
I think I do. Yes.
What, Dave?
I'll go. Come in, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
They told me at the station I would find you here, Lieutenant. I have come to give myself up.
Yeah?
I killed Caroline Endicott.
But why?
What?
Why, with everything you had to gain if she had lived?
That was one of Caroline's little jokes, Lieutenant. She was quite full of them, I assure you. Bitter, galling little jokes. I stood there in dignity for years. I grinned and smiled and put up with it because, as Caroline so often reminded me, I would never find another position.
You hated her?
I hated her like a bird fears and hates an adder, but I was helpless. Helpless until her physician, Dr. Westingman, one day came to treat her silly hay fever, examined me, and found that I was dying of cancer.
Cancer.
Yes, dying of cancer with only a few months left to live. I knew then that nothing she could say would hurt me. I knew then I was no longer in her power. I read in the daily paper, your paper I believe, Mr. Jackson, a household hints item about a poison in the sprouts of potatoes, and that you should always be careful to remove them before cooking. I removed them. I shredded them and mixed them into a tea bag.
Tetley's.
Her favorite brand. I kept the bag in my pocketbook, wrapped in a handkerchief. It was my intention, when the pain became too great, and Caroline's sarcasm a little too much to bear, I would make myself a cup of tea and die.
So you made it for yourself then, not for Caroline.
For myself.
So it wasn't premeditated.
No. Only I meant to die at the most inconvenient moment for Caroline. In that way, I'd have my revenge. Some evening when she wanted someone to torture, I'd be happily dead.
That's a strange kind of revenge.
Wednesday, when we came here, I had the tea bag. I thought, here in someone else's house, with Caroline not knowing how the drag had left here, she would be most embarrassed. I prepared the 2 cups of tea, the poison one for myself. But as I stood waiting to hand her hers, Caroline played the most ghastly joke of all, knowing I was dying, knowing I had only a few months left to live. She was using me to cheat these people from the estate that everyone knows is rightfully theirs. It was too much even for me. I dropped the cup. But it was her cup, and it was the greatest moment in my life when I handed her mine.
Well, then it was really all kind of an accident, wasn't it?
No. I knew that Agnes could get married. I knew Richard could go to college. I knew it was the right thing to do. I'm willing to pay the penalty, but the state will have to move quickly.
Feeling as you did, why didn't you confess?
I didn't know any of the Endicotts would be involved. I thought I would have a few months of peace in my brother's garden before I passed on, and then I'd leave a written confession. But on the train, when I read this evening's paper, I knew I had to come back, that what I'd done to help Agnes was turning out all wrong. Now may I sit down?
Yes, of course.
I think I blame Mother.
She must have read about it in the same household hints.
Children, Agnes is here. She's free.
Hello!
Oh, Miss Maverick, I thought you'd left town.
Oh, Mom, Miss Maverick came to tell us. Oh, Mom, she did it all for us.
Doc?
Yes, Agnes. Miss Mavis just told us. Isn't it wonderful? She poisoned Aunt Caroline. So that you and I could get married.
And I could go to college. Mom, she did it all for us.
Miss Maverick, are they telling the truth? But I did get a certain kind of enjoyment from it, too.
It was all a mistake, the way I see it.
It's done, and I'm not ashamed. Only don't spoil it, Agnes. You will be married, won't you?
Just someone try and stop us. And you're coming to the wedding.
And Ricky, you'll go to college and be a great doctor, and perhaps help people who are dying.
And I know now what I'm going to be, a cancer specialist.
You don't know how happy you've made me.
Oh, Miss Maverick, you're the most wonderful person in the world. Don't die.
Please, come with us always. We want you.
I'd like to very much, Sissy, but I'm afraid I'll have to go with the lieutenant.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, really, it was all an accident. Sort of. Gosh, if you haven't got long, I might as well save the government a pile of money. You know, I kind of remember it was Caroline who was dying of cancer. Yeah, you had it right, Miss McLean. Suicide. Well, good night, everybody.
Well, what do you know about that? He was an original, genuine, not a facsimile.
Does it mean he isn't going to take me?
Aunt Weedy, you can stay in my room. And you're going to be a bridesmaid at a wedding.
It will have to be soon.
Maybe tomorrow.
Hey, Mr. Clayton. Can I borrow your car some more?
Sure, I guess so. Why?
Well, Pearl, I just remembered since today the junior's wrong.
Yes, it is.
What are we waiting for?
But I have my dress ready. I know, buy more girls. Come on.
Wait! Miss Mabba, how about you going with me? I need a girl.
Thank you, Richard. I'm afraid not. I've had rather a trying day. It's best that I take things easy.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No. Thank you, Agnes. I'd just like to sit here and rest. It's been a long time since I've sat on a sofa.
Can I come in, Miss Endicott?
Yes, what is it?
Ma said I missed my lesson. Said I had to come tonight.
But it's late, dear.
Ma says it's never too late to butter your bread, and Pa said you'd have a pile of dough anyway. So we better keep on the good side.
Beat it, Una. We're not giving any lessons.
Ma said maybe you'd give me dance the water lilies, like you promised.
Well, if you others don't mind, Una really can't afford to miss a lesson. All right, Una. Ready? Let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.